Jammers is a memorable time. For those who watched, they have so much to say about that. You talked a bit about how you came into the game of basketball from football. When did you realize that I can actually be good at this game? Obviously, you were blessed with unusual height for a typical Ugandan, so that you had a cheat code there. But when did you realize that I can actually do well at this sport? I'm gifted at this game. Did you have to work so hard to get to a level of being an elite player, or there was just something about you in basketball that clicked and made it easy for you to become the great player that you
Well, first of all, like I tell my kids, don't be fooled. You always have to work. You have to work, whether you like it or not. You have to work for it. Football, I love football. And my dad is tall, was tall. But I hadn't gotten that height yet when I was in football. And I really wasn't tall. But it so happens when I went for my high school, the guys I hung out in school and the guys I hung out in holidays all played basketball. In holidays, each time I would hang out, we would go to the basketball court. And slowly by slowly, playing with guys, we had older guys playing with the younger guys, and somehow, have you been to, there's a day you come to the court and guys are few, and they need to put in somebody to just fill up the teams. And I was that guy they used to fill up the teams. And the sport grew up on me. Yeah, because I was around basketballers, and if you notice, in high school we hated athletics, because guys were into football and other sports. And what they used to do to make guys practice for athletics, in case we had competitions, they would confiscate all footballs, all volleyballs, all basketballs, and lock them up. And basketballers had personal balls. So for them, the sport continued playing. Whether they're running or doing what, we kept playing. So I would stay playing basketball, come to holidays, now I play basketball, and just like that, the sport grew up on me. Yeah. But my work ethics improved when I went to Nairobi. The way they coached us there is not like what most people do here. Wake up early, go to class. From class, your classes are done by maybe 11. From 11 to lunchtime, you're working on your personal workouts, your ball handles, shooting. And then at 2 o'clock, because I didn't know the team, I was new to the team, 2 o'clock, there's girls training. I go train with the girls so that I can learn the plays, because the girls had the same plays as the boys. Then they train up to 4. 4:35, 4 there, I'm resting, 4, and I'm waiting for the men's practice. Then I join the men's practice. So you see how hard I used to work. I worked a lot, morning and afternoon. Only free rest day was Monday. It was a rest day, but still we used to go for pickup. So I worked a lot. It reached a point I could eat a whole loaf of bread by myself, just because of too much work. I started eating a lot, started gaining weight. I bulked up a bit. I'm ever skinny, yes, but bulking in such a way that I became a lot more physical than sop that I used to be. So yes, I tried weightlifting, but it's not my thing. But I did what is enough for me to be able to play the game. So don't be fooled. It's all about work. Yeah.
And what was driving you? You want to go play professional at that point?
That was my target. That was the goal. Yeah. By the time I joined joined that team in Nairobi, it was all about going to the US, because that's what that team did. They shipped players to their universities. In return, the universities gave help, like they sent shoes, basketballs to that team, and funds to help run the team. So ultimately, that was the goal, to go to the US.
And were you spotted to go to that team? The team in Kenya?
Yes, they came here and did a clinic, and they spotted me and took me there. I was supposed to join Makerere, and then they switched. They said, no, let him come and talk to my parents. Let him come, play for a while, improve his game, and then we shall take him to university, a college in the US. And that's what it turned out to be. So I went to Nairobi.
And you were there for
96 to, 3 to 4 years, 96 to 2000.
So you'd say that is the period that made Norman Blick?
That is a period
more
that,
than any other period?
yeah, that's the one that sculpted me.
And when you come back here, you came back a totally different player.
Different
when you
player.
finished there.
Yeah, came back totally different. My IQ, basketball IQ, was on another level compared to most players here. My skill set was also different compared to other players. Yeah, I was totally different.
Talk about the first championship, because you'd go on to win other championships. I think you won 6 championships in total.
Yeah.
Because you won 1 in Sky Jamming,
Yeah.
2 with Kumba, I
Yeah,
think you won 2 with
Power.
and 1 with Warriors.
Warriors,
So
yes.
let's talk about the first one. You told me it wasn't expected because you were going up initially against tough teams. One of the legendary teams that we've had, that team that had more in Falcons.
Yeah, initially we had played in the league for, I think that was like our 3rd season. We had played in the league, that was our 3rd season. And we reached a point whereby if we would win one more game against the Blue Jackets, we would make it to the playoffs. And that was our sole target that year. We're like, let's just make it to the playoffs for once. I remember playing that game, and we came out wholeheartedly. We beat Blue Jackets like they'd stolen a phone. And we made it to the playoffs. We felt we had achieved our goal, basically. And we knew we could not go any further because we were going to play the champions, Falcons. And Falcons at that time was the star-studded side. We were like, it's hard to beat them. But somebody came and talked to us while we were in Jinja and told us, if you've come all this way, why stop here? Try and see. You never know where it goes. And funnily enough, we won game 1 against the Falcons. Beat them narrowly, but it was a win. And it boosted us so much. And coming on to the second game, we lost, but it was a narrow loss. Like, we lost in the last minutes. We fumbled up and we gave away the lead and we lost the game. So we had to play decider because it was best of 3. And the decider, days before the game, we hear their star, Stephen Omony, had left the country for Seychelles. We were so excited. We're like, we're not touching down, we're going for this game. And that's exactly what we did. We came and won, beat Falcons thoroughly, went on to the finals. In finals, we knew we were meeting Power also, who had been champions before. And we were not so worried because, we were just beaten Falcons. So Power should not be a problem. And that's what we exactly did in game 1. Won game 1, beat us narrowly game 2, came and won game 3 and 4, and we were champions. We were walking on higher ground in Ginger. I mean, we were invited to parties everywhere. Everywhere, each time there was a party or something, we were invited. Clubs would enter for free because we were champions. It was just too nice.
I want to talk about that incident in Kenya, missing out on the opportunity to go to the US. How much did that affect you as a person and as a player? And looking back now, what lessons did you take from missing out on the opportunity? How did you bounce back? And you said it's still the biggest regret of your career.
Yeah.
How much did it affect you? Were you depressed when that opportunity went and the issues came up with the coach? Did you laugh for basketball? Decline after that? And
No.
look back now, what lessons do you take from that opportunity?
Yeah, there's so many lessons you can learn from it. But I was still young. And to me, it wasn't the end of the world. So when when that opportunity went, I kept playing the game because I loved the game. And when I kept playing the game, I was rewarded with the championship. That Sky Jammers won. We ended up winning a championship. I love the game even a lot more now. And then Unkumba offered me a scholarship. So kind of that whole memory of not going out to the States faded. I was like, it's still not so bad. I'm still above ground, and I'm still doing what I love to do. Yeah, so I believe I should have taken it. It should have been a different path, but I'm still not regretting. Yeah, I'm still not regretting.
Let's talk about the best teammates you've had. You've played with many players. And these are always tough questions.
No.
If you had to name the best teammates you've had, let's say the first five, with you on it, who would you include in that team? First, from the one to know here.
My best teammate will always be my brother. Yeah. That's why you see they used to say, for us it used to be buy one, you get one free. Yeah, because I don't know, we are that tight, and chemistry for us on court was not something we had to work for. It just came automatically. He always knew where I am. I knew where he is. He was always my best teammate. But if I'm to choose other players, I love playing with Henry. He could definitely be on my team. I love playing with Ben Komakech, definitely on my team. There's too many players I could add. I love playing with I didn't play much with Jimmy because he was still learning. If Ken didn't break down also, I think we could have achieved a lot more with Ken. Yeah, because there's something I saw in Ken that was phenomenal. Like, he was different. Ken did things that you'd be like, does this guy think he's on TV or something? And you'd be like, how did he do this? If I had a chance to play with, there's a Sylvan Kaboha. I loved Sylvan Kaboha. I liked the Chamringas. Kaseu, I like Kaseu. I definitely liked Ivan and Nabu was, yeah, and Awel. The Nabus are always fun to play with, that's the truth. What else can I add? There are many good players. I really can't choose the first five or what. It's hard to tell. Yeah. I played with Steve. It was fun to play with, but I think we both had egos to show, and so it it would come down to who is the go-to guy now. Yeah, if you notice, when we played in Miracle, it was I had my own ego, he had his own ego, and would definitely all the time would rub on each other, and it would not come out well. Yeah, but national-wise, national team, well, we did our thing. We used to play. Yeah. What else can I talk about? Which other MVP can you tell me? Like Ikong now is like a friend you would play with. It was good. It's a good motivator. Good motivator. And that's one other thing I liked about Donald also. He's one guy you would be like, you know, you're down and they actually need you. Instead of motivating himself, he would come motivate you to play so that he can see what he wants to be done. So that is the Ikong guy. He'll be like, who is marking you? Who is that kind of guy who could come and tell you that such a thing, and then it steps up your game. Ikong, good guy to play with also.
You've talked about many great players. If you had to name one player who you thought was the best player that you saw among Ugandan players, you might have played with him or maybe you didn't play with him, who would that player be?
What can I say? My name is Stephen Omoni, of course. He was such an all-round player. He would go to the post, he would play outside, he would shoot, he did everything. He's definitely one of the greatest that I've ever played.
And the two of you have always been compared. You know, there will always be debates among the fans. For me, it's Norman, because Norman made it. You know, some people will say Norman made this team, it's better. Steve was more of someone who was a scorer, someone, an assassin, someone who went to score for himself. But Norman was.
It's funny, at one point in Sky Jammers, I used to look up to Steve. Yeah, and I admired everything he did and really wanted. At one point, I even really would love to play with him. I'm like, can I join you? There's a time I even talked to him in Nairobi. I'm telling him, can I come and join you in Seychelles? Yeah, I looked up to him a lot. So, to me, he's my God.
Do you think we've obviously had Jimmy. Jimmy has had a very successful career in terms of achievements. But there's something about your generation and the players that are coming up today. What is missing? Today there seems to be money in the game, more playing opportunities. Why are we not being able to produce Norman and Steve? Or did the talent run out? Did it dry out? Or is the way that the kids are learning and playing the game?
I don't know if it's passion right now. Like, passion for the game. I mean, for us, we played because we loved the game. And money was not going to stop us from doing what we wanted to do. I mean, growing up, learning the game, sometimes guys, we played in sandals or played in shoes that had holes. You had to put another sandal inside the shoe. That was all love for the game. You're like, I don't have a shoe, won't stop me from playing. These days, a kid will tell you, I have no shoes, so I can't ball. You can tell from the older players, even up to this day, even if he's putting on a suit and he passes by the court, he'll at least shoot a free throw or something in his suit. These days, kids do it for, there's something that has to drive them to do what they love, which wasn't the case with us. Yeah, I can just imagine if we had opportunities like what kids have these days. I mean, sponsorship is there. We are guys who played for the national team, and national team, we had to share a bed, imagine. Or sometimes we were late for games just because we either left the country late. At the time we reached, we were going to play Zone 5, and we reached when the games are beginning tomorrow. And Rwanda was asked which team they wanted to play first, and they were like, Ugandans arrived today. Of course, we want Uganda, because they knew we were already tired. First of all, we didn't fly in, we just came in on a bus. We were definitely exhausted. And they really showcased on us. They beat us in front of their president, really mocked us. So these days, kids are, national team is better prepared. And okay, I had the chance at least now when who Haji Santul came in and started helping the national side. I had a chance to be with them. Everything looked, was a lot different and professional in the way he handled the national team. And when you wore that jersey, you felt like, at least I'm different from the other guys who are bowling in Uganda because I'm wearing the jersey. But before, it was not fun. We had to borrow a kit to play for the national team. Imagine, it was all funny. No allowances, no nothing, but we still played because it was a travel opportunity. So you can imagine, compare that with nowadays, it's a lot different.
You've talked about your lowest moment. What is your best moment as a basketball player? Is it the Sky Jammers Championship or it's something else? Or is it a number of moments?
Yeah, there are a number of moments. I've gotten to travel. I have kids because of basketball. So there's a lot I'm grateful for because of basketball. Yeah.
You traveled to Qatar, and there's a story about that whole period. Your time in Qatar, you are a good player. Someone saw you and they connected you to Qatar. But you went there, it was a great opportunity for you in some things, but you didn't fit there. Why? Or at least according to the story that has been told.
Okay, Qatar was good. Two things happened. First mistake was I was taken there as a big man. I was not a big man. So when I reached there, the height was good, but the team had requested for a big man. And, the coach said, maybe let's try and beef him up and we see. And I was on protein, gym, yes, I bulked up a bit. But still, my game was outside. I was not a paint guy. My game was still outside the paint. And I played for the senior team and the junior team. In the junior team, I was excelling. I was scoring 50, 40, Senior team, I was getting less playing time and averaging about 6 points a game. I still wanted to stay. And then they came up with a rule in Qatar because too many foreigners were taking up the league, and the real Qatarians were not getting to participate in the league. So they came up with a rule like one American or one European and then 2 Africans per team. Our team was we already had a South African, like 4 Nigerians, 2 guys from Ivory Coast, 1 guy from Cameroon, another guy from Egypt. We were already too many. So they had to let go some of us. So then I came back to Uganda, then got a stint with Trailblazers, Southampton, in UK. Went there, that didn't go very well, Now there my target was money. When I reached there and they're not paying so well, my focus turned to money. So I decided to do other jobs instead, and then came back, target working basically. Yeah.
Was it hard for you to adjust to the culture of Qatar, the restrictions in social life there, or there were no restrictions?
No, there are restrictions, of course. Remember, it's a professional team, so everything you do, you have to stay professional. Maybe the only difference would be it's an Islamic state. So their Sundays are Fridays. and maybe weather. You have to adjust to weather. It's too cold yet very dry in December. And then it's too hot again during the day, during when it starts to like when April, May kicks in. It's too hot. You can hardly walk from here up to there without. Yeah, so those are the only adjustments. But those are things that if you're true Ugandan, you will adjust. You always adjust. You find a way of fitting in. So it wasn't an issue.
It was a professional setup, but for some of the teams you played for, like Power, even at your height, the height of Power when you win championships, one of the accusations that was made about Power and the players is that they were very casual. The team was full of, you guys were close, and guys who enjoyed life, but sometimes you enjoyed it too much.
Too much, yeah.
Was that a fair observation?
It was a true observation. It has its whatever pluses and minuses. Hanging out together definitely jailed us a lot. We bonded a lot more. We became a unit because we hanged out, and sometimes, yes, it's very true, we abused the enjoyment. We did it exceedingly abnormal. Like, yes, there are times when we had to rest so that you can go play a game. But that also comes in with being complacent. You know, like when you become too good, sometimes you're complacent. You're like, whether I hang out, 2 drinks won't stop me from winning tomorrow's game. That kind of thing. And we did it. It happened. Yes, we got away with it, but reached a point we could not get away with it. And that's why we failed. We went down to City Oil. Sometimes we went down to Warriors because of that. Yeah. Sometimes you wake up and smell the coffee, you realize, and like, here I don't have to do this. Though we have those positive thinking, you guys say, stick to the routine, don't change the routine. Yeah, but yes, we abused it. We did. There's a positive side of it, but then there's also a negative side of it, which was not good.
Did that enjoyment begin to affect the life of some of your teammates beyond the game and maybe even your own self? Did it become at some point unmanageable?
Yes, it's very true. I myself, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm a victim. I will personally take it up and say, yes, it affected me. I got to a point, you lose yourself, and yes, you're having fun, it becomes too much fun, and you forget about what you're supposed to do. I got divorced because of this too much fun. It's not that I was cheating on my wife or what. It's the hanging out that was too much, and I forgot my responsibilities. And you hang out too much, and then most times you're sleeping or you're practicing, and definitely your game also goes down. You can't stay the same. So it definitely did take a toll on us, and I will confess it took a great toll on me. It stopped being enjoyment. I stopped drinking alcohol to enjoy. I started drinking it as a multivitamin. Like, it has to be there. It is a must. If I'm not tipsy today, I won't sleep. It had to be that way. Yeah, so I'd gotten to that level, and it messed me up big time.
And where was the turning point?
Well, turning point. I could say like a year ago. A year ago, things really got rough. Yeah, and I'd gotten to a point that the bottle was just my personal friend. I was stressed all the time. I had anxiety, and I used to see my less of my kids. I used to, I used to drive them to school all the time, but now I could not do it anymore. And somehow, I turned to church, and it was a Sunday thing. Then within churches, you form cells. And cells. When I joined the cell, somehow you get to meet people that have been there also, and they help you out. And slowly by slowly, yeah, it reduced. It got to a point where now I could only drink from home. Then that way now, going out to party was not a real thing for me now. Then it got to a point by 10 o'clock, you're like, 10 o'clock I should be home. So whether you would bring in proggy football, I have to go and watch football, what, I was like, 10 o'clock, I'm home. And I think with the age also, you realize you can't handle like you used to handle anymore. And that way, those responsibilities that I had now are mounted. Remember, the girls are growing so fast. So you realize, you start calculating every penny you get. So you start thinking different, definitely. So I turned around, cut down on those things. I'm not saying I don't drink anymore. Yes, I drink, but it's on a mature level. Like, you're like, before you spend it, you're like, first think about it. Before you actually drink, you're like, what do I have to do tomorrow? You know, those are questions that come up before you actually do it. If it is a party, you're like, okay, it's a party, but you still calculate tomorrow. Do I have anything to do tomorrow? Those are the things, yeah. But it's now, I'd almost losing it to get to that point where I'm ruled by the bottle. I am lucky. I never smoked. It has never been my thing. I tried because it looked cool when the guys are doing it, but I failed. I would choke. Even shisha, I could choke on shisha. So I'm lucky. That has never been my habit. Yeah, but now recently, my mom was bedridden, and my focus was on her, and that even encouraged me to improve. Even like there was no time to do any drinking. Yeah, so it's been a good turnaround for me.
When you reflect on being able to overcome, what was threatening to the way life completely, do you have a sense of pride? Do you feel that a sense of satisfaction? Because sometimes it can feel like this thing is going to finish me.
Oh yes, I do. Oh yes, I do. Yeah. Yes, I do. I'm thankful. I'm glad I got to see the light before it became a real problem, And these are things I intend to pass on even to my kids that I talk to and I train. Don't get to a point where you get carried away because you're a superstar or you're too talented and you think you can just go do anything you want. Yeah. So these are things I intend to pass on. And
And it's an issue in Ugandan sport because many young athletes sometimes fail to handle that part of their life, especially when they start getting money, they become stars, and you've always been a star from a very young age. What message do you give to those? First of all, talk about those athletes who are there struggling with it now, and those maybe who think, it's not a big deal, let's just keep having fun. What message do you give to them because you've been there, been in both those situations?
Yeah, definitely. Those who are struggling with it, it's not the end of the world. You can turn around. It's very true. You can turn around. I'm not saying it will be a thing you'll do, say tomorrow, I'm not doing it. No, it has to be a gradual process. But the way you do it also matters a lot. You have to avoid places where you know you're going to be tempted. You need a self-help group. Like go to church where those self-help, or go to, I don't know if there are those groups that are organized for strictly drunkards or what. Those helps group, they help. And personally, you need to sit down also, think about yourself, recollect, say, really, where am I heading? Yeah. In those kids that are talented, getting up there, it's a thing to watch out. I mean, once you become a star, that fame can get to your head and you lose it. Yeah. You have to stay focused, stay positive, stay true to the game. And play each day like it might be like your last day, because you never know. You might get injured, tomorrow you can't play. So play each day like it's your last day. Give the game your all. And make sure you're satisfied within your heart. And make sure you're playing it for is also satisfied. Like I came to watch Norman. Yes, today he gave us a game. You're happy, they are happy. The whole world is a happy place. Yes.
You talked about your mom being sick, and you said that was an important moment for you to reflect. But it makes me think about your heritage. You are a Blick, and the Blicks are a famous name in Ugandan sport. How was it for you growing up as a Blick? I think you're a third generation Blick, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And how is it with the Blick family? Are you still, that whole family is still close? You still help each other?
Yes, we do. Yes.
You go through and so on.
Yes, we do. We are a family. We're a good unit. In big days, Christmas days or Easter days, we converge and meet as a family. And we get to talk to each other. We help each other out. We gel with the older generations. They talk to us. We also talk to the younger ones. And the older generation encourages the younger generation to keep up the name. And basically, we are God blessed us. We are not a dull family. We're ever doing something. So we are always sporting, basically, when we are not always seated. And it happens from generation to generation. My kids are into football, basketball, and other modeling, but you can tell that there's that agility of a Blick. Yeah, when you can tell when you put them into, if it's time for games, you can see that competitiveness in them. The Blick comes out. It happens with other kids also. I've seen my nieces, nephews. I've seen it all. We are blessed with that. We're never a dull family.
Did that contribute to your career as a basketball player? That heritage?
Probably, but I didn't play thinking about myself as a Blick. I just played the sport just because I love the sport. I was now not saying I was playing it to compete. Okay, at one point I reached a point I was like, okay, if the others are dominating biking, I'm going to dominate basketball. This is where I'll make my name from. It got to me at one point, and I kept it that way. Yeah, because I remember when we were kids, Navio used to play basketball, and he would school me. I got to visit them at home. He had a home court. He would do all sorts of crazy things on me.
It was good.
It was good, yeah. But with time, I think when I started in South Africa, he was there playing and doing his musical thing. But this side was also aggressively taking on basketball. So he comes back one time and he's like, I heard you're the superstar of basketball. How can that be? It cannot be, because I used to school you. And he talked a lot until FNL. So I tell him, you know what? You used to play basketball, right? Why don't you come and play for Team Blick? That is when he realized how big a star I am. I was like, okay. I give up. That is when he realized. But at first it was like, how do you the star? How is that possible? I used to school you. I told him, you should come and check me out. So he came for FNL, realized, okay, this guy is a star here. I should let him be. Yeah.
Yeah, you talked about a bit about the national team. I want to ask you whether you feel some type of way when you look at the way where the game is now. National team, Afro basketball. You played a bit in the qualifiers in 2014 for the national team for Afro basket. Do you feel that the national team came a little too late for you, or do you feel that you could have still had some good years in the national team? Maybe if that is something that
the organization and funding that is there right now came too late for me. Yes. It came too late. We were ready. We were there. There were guys that could play. Yes. It's just that the funding and organization came too late.
I really look at even the Basketball Africa League now.
And then all these opportunities that are coming up. Ball, what? Too late for us. We missed out on that chance.
And when you see these kids not really
taking it past, it should be personal. Right now, you're like, all these opportunities. That is why you see. Whoever came up with, there should be a ball league for Waze. I'm seriously rooting for him. I'm like, it will give me a second opportunity to go back and represent. Yes. So whoever is planning that league, please bring it up. Yes.
The future, as we begin to conclude, you're coaching an academy, or rather you run an academy. You said it's a bit on hold right now. When is it going to reopen?
Right now, my biggest problem is equipment and venue. We have a few facilities in Uganda. Venue. I may have kids in Bunga, and yet the venue I have is in Kira. It's a big burden for a parent to bring a kid from Bunga to Kira. And facilities, equipment is still my problem. And I'm not sponsored by anyone. It's strictly out of my own pocket. So, and basketball equipment is not cheap. Balls cost a lot. Venues, if you have to use a venue, you have to pay for it. And then you need to plan how to fit in with the school curriculums and to get the kids free. These days, the kids, you might teach a kid from P5. Once he gets to P6, he's too busy, doesn't train anymore. You'll see him again. Vacation for a while, he's gone again. So bringing up these young kids, it's not simple, but like sometimes I leave it to the parents to be the motivators, like the guys behind the whole thing. You really want to have something out of your kid, push the kid. When he's free, bring him for practice. There's a lot you can gain out of it. These days, scholarships. We are struggling with school fees, but if your kid is talented, you can't fail to get a high school that can take him up for free, or a university, you know. So parents, parents do have to push their kids. They have to be motivated to bring up their kids. Yeah.
Do you see yourself coaching a team in the NBA, or do you see yourself upgrading your coaching papers? Because as the game expands, there's need for people with your profile, people who play at the highest level, who can manage players, people who...
That's very true, very true. There's,
Is that within the things
yeah,
you
it's
think
within,
about
yeah,
from
it's
able
within my future things, yeah, my future plans. Yeah, I intend to do more courses, coaching courses, and sports management courses. And yeah, with time, if it comes to it, yes, I'd love to coach a team, and not only be a coach to them, be a mentor as well, and see a fully organized team, like City Oil, basically. Yeah.
So, I mean, your basketball story is going on, as your life story is also going on. Do you think that the future for Ugandan basketball is bright?
It is bright, but we've reached it left a certain level, got to a certain level, and we're kind of still there. But there's a big gap, big margin for improvement. We can go to another level if we really want to. Yeah, we have talent here, plenty of talent. We may not have the size, but we have the talent. Yes, plenty of talent. So it's up to us as coaches, people with academies, to make sure the sport lives on. It is up to us. Pass on the good skills, manage the kids, bring them up with the, bring up good, strong student athletes. Athletes who are not only excelling on the court, but also in classes, school-wise. They should be excelling as well as they're excelling on court as well. That way we have a bright future.
When we have this conversation in 10 years, what should I expect from the league 10 years from now?
10 years. I should have at least a full squad. I should have a full squad of national team players. Yeah. Hopefully, 10 years, I want to at least have 50 kids in my academy. More than 50 plus, or at least branches. Whereby I have a branch in Bunga, I have a branch in Luzira, I have a branch in Kira. Yeah. And be able to manage so sport is spread out properly. And I intend to do more. I want to do camping tours, like how we used to do it with Sprite. And it has to be national. Be able to go preach the gospel of basketball to all points of the country. Yeah.
Final question. Your father, you thought about your family, your daughters. How have they changed your life? What sort of impact did they? Because you obviously are a proud father, the way you keep talking about them. How has fatherhood influenced your outlook on life?
Fatherhood is perfect. It's interesting. It's a good thing. I don't know if it's because I have girls, because they say girls tend to love their fathers more. But I'm sure even with those who have boys, I'm sure they enjoy the moment.
That's all you.
So me wanted to do like 20 years, the years I played basketball, 20 years of Norman Blick.
Yes.
But we're still thinking of whether to do a tournament and say that would be like an annual tournament now. So I was thinking of doing it as the tour I was talking about, like Norman Blick visits Barada, Norman Blick visits, and so whichever place I go to, you do a camp, maybe for a week.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, like that.
Actually, you can find
And
this
then becomes an annual thing. That's something that we run every year. As long as we get sponsors. And then from there, whichever town or district you go, you coach, you pick up like players, and they form a team, which comes to Kampala, and you finalize it with a tournament. Something like that. That's the
You haven't planned out, but you need to get sponsors. And
sponsor. You need sponsors. Yeah.
and you have to-
That's
Yeah,
you need
what's the
sponsors.
question and proposal?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's answer that question again. How fatherhood has influenced Norman Blick? Your growth as a player, your growth as a person.
Yeah, fatherhood is a good thing. Like I said, I don't know whether it's girls who are meant to love their fathers too much or something, but the love they show me is exceptional and definitely encourages you a lot more. You want to be a father all the time, and it's a good thing. So all you singles out there, please, work.
Did this also help you settle down when you struggle?
Yes,
And you said, I have to be better for them.
yes. The more they grow, the more you realize you have to be. Your responsibility piles up. Yeah, and you have to think about them. Be there for them. That is it.
So, in other words, as we finish, Norman Blick is not done. It's just reloading
Reloading, yes.
for another chapter of his life.
Yeah, we're reloading. There's another chapter coming.
I think that's all for the English
Yeah.
interview. It's been long.
Yeah.
The Uganda one will be much shorter. I promise, much shorter. It won't be that long. Because I
Joshua Jeptegum.